Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got one more performance project for the Corvette before we wrap this build series up. You guys might be wondering what else we're going to do. Well, long story short is we're going to add a MSD two-step to the car because I've already added the line lock. You know, we've done all the transmission upgrades, the diff braces and all that stuff. The last thing I wanted was an ability to set the RPM on the line when I'm launching and hopefully help improve those 60-foot times. And the reason we're going with this mod is just to help improve consistency. One thing that I've shown on the channel is that I'm pretty inconsistent when I'm trying to launch manual versus an automatic. So just to help eliminate, you know, some of the variables and just having a line lock for the burnout, having a MSD, the two-step launch controller, launch system, whatever you want to call it, to help control the 60-foot, you know, that'll just help me get out of the hole that much quicker. I know some people don't need these things, but I figured for the not super expensive price that this kit was, you know, we might as well try it. And speaking of, here's the system. I have it just sitting on the motor. This kit isn't super complex. It's actually pretty simple. So you've got the controller box, you got your switch controller. You either control it via clutch switch or you can control it by a button, and then you've got your main harness, and this harness will connect to the coil packs on each side. It doesn't matter which side you mount it. I've read the instructions. So I'm going to mount the box to the fender line or something like that. You've got the two wires coming out. You only use one of these as a trigger source, and I'll show you guys on the diagram. If you use the blue wire, you connect that to, it's basically, it grounds out the system. You throw a switch, and the switch will complete the ground and that will activate it, or you use the blue and white circuit, you run that and you run that to the clutch switch. If you guys run the clutch switch, it's actually, you're dependent on the Corvette. So mine's an 05, and the 05, 06, 07, all of the LS2 Corvettes and the LS7 Z06s, those all had a different, there's actually two clutch switches in the interior. I would show you guys, but the car's on the lift, and I don't have any room to get in the car to get under there to show you, but you can wire it to that. There is a pink and white wire that you could tie into for the clutch switch, or you can run a button. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go with this. The other part of the install, like I was saying, was that switch, how you're going to activate it. So I either send this to a button, you know, probably a flip switch type deal, and ground out the control, and that way you activate it. Or you go under the dashboard, cut into the factory wire, and you know, you tie into you tie the blue-white wire to the blue-pink wire under the dashboard. And you simply run this cable through the firewall. There's multiple places. You've got the box on the fender, you know, behind the camera. You're going to connect it to the shorter connection first, so that'll be the passenger side fender. Now I suppose you could mount this over on the driver's side, but I just don't see the reason why you would do that. Alright, so disconnect the passenger side, plug in the jumper harness. So I plugged in the jumper harness, now I'm going to plug in the factory harness. So there you go, that's going to be it for the passenger side. Now I need to run this wire cable over to the driver's side. Alright guys, you can see the wire coming behind the blower, coming underneath the coolant line, kind of wrapped around the PCV hose, and then down here, it's the final part you can see. So I have the jumper harness from MSD plugged into the factory coil pack harness, plugging into the MSD launch system. Then that wire goes up and around and back. Mind you guys, this is an absolute mess. I know none of this stuff's finalized. Obviously, this is kind of just a mock-up for today, but you know, this is all going to get cleaned up at some point. There's a Hob switch for the fuel pump. There is an E85 sensor for the E85 tune. There is a line lock down here. There is the launch controller, the MSD stuff. So stuff's looking messy right now, but it will get cleaned up, I promise. Oh, and like I was saying earlier, 06, 05, 06, 07 will have one style. 08 newer have a different style, because on the clutch pedal itself on a C6, they went from My style, the LS2, LS7, early LS7 have 2 switches. The 08 Plus C6 Corvettes have 1 switch, and it's not even a switch. They changed the name of it. I think it's like the clutch position sensor. It's not a switch, it's a sensor. So that setup's going to be even a little bit more different. I do know that Lingenfelter sells a no-cut harness for the 2008 Plus. Like they've got like an adapter harness for that sensor. It's only like $15, but you guys would have to do more research on that. I just happened to stumble upon that today because it's like a $15 part from Lingenfelter. It plugs into the 08 Plus Corvettes. I think it's developed for the CTSV and the Camaros as well. But it's supposed to be like a no-cut harness, and it gives you leads to tie into, but you guys are going to have to do your own research on that. I don't have an 08 Plus, so it's not something I'm really going to be looking into. So just fair warning, 08 newer guys, you've got something different product, different route, but you know, just stuff like that. So I hope that gave you enough install information to help you get this MSD two-step installed on your car. You know, like I said, nothing too complex, just plug and play for those 2 items, just that switch versus clutch switch. You know, that's kind of up to you guys. So I'll have a follow-up video with the car back on the ground and running. So it will at least cover the line lock, the 2-step launch control, whatever you want to call it, and a few other things, you know, to go along with this project. And guys, you can't forget, I still haven't figured out that fuel pump. The tuner had an issue when he tuned it. He just took the Hobbs switch off, put a fuse in it, and it just completed the circuit so that the pump was running 100% of the time. I still need to figure that out as well. So we'll get there. I know these videos have been long and it's been a long series, but we're almost done. When it gets warm out, we'll get the car back on the road and all these subsystems figured out. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Thanks and have a great day.